Imagine if you try to do some illegal voting, some voter manipulation, something like that. You'd be thrown in jail before the damn trial. They'll throw you in jail, and then hopefully you'll get your speedy trial after you're thrown in jail. There's so many federal offenses that we can be arrested for and just ripped from the streets, thrown in jail like that before any kind of an election. You'd be in jail, and if you're lucky, you get a bond to get out and whatnot. Walk around with an ankle bracelet until they finally get you in court. What's my point? We got people in government sworn to protect the United States against enemy, foreign and domestic. I remember taking that oath when I was first indoctrinated into the United States Army as a kid. I might not remember the words 100%, but to this day, that oath still holds true, for me at least. For many military people, we still abide by that oath. It's not an oath that ends upon your release from the military. You got people in our government offices who are committing felonies, federal crimes. They hacked the elections through various mechanisms. Psychological methods, such as, believe it or not, websites such as Google and Yahoo. Yes, psychological. You do a search, their algorithms produce their agenda as search results, their candidate as search results. They use the television and newspaper outlets as propaganda mechanism, Late night talk shows, newspapers, cable news, you name it, they used it against you. What else did they do? Wiretapping, planting evidence, framing people, lying to judges, fraudulent investigations, and the crimes are still going on to this day after the candidate has won. They led you to believe that your vote, simply get out and vote, and you can make this country whatever you want it to be. See, it's not about the American vote. It's about, and always has been, the survival of their party. The vote, again, is just an illusion that you picked the president. The fact of the matter is, the two final candidates that normally they present to you are their picks. Both of them virtually identical. Both of them support the elite's agenda. You just have an illusion that you picked a candidate. This time, somebody outside of their approval snuck in. His name was Donald Trump. They don't approve. And this just goes to back up my thesis that your vote does not matter to them. They want to overturn your vote. Their agenda, their survival is more important than you or your vote. You are cattle, you are sheep, you are a slave with the illusion of freedom. I've said it in the past, and I actually invented the phrase. Slavery never ended, it was perfected. And what is the best, the hardest working slave? Psychologists have proven it time and time again. The most productive slave is a slave that believes he or she is free. You went out and you voted. And they're trying to undo your vote. You mean nothing to them. And they're still walking around free without the ankle bracelet. You know what scares me about this situation? That they are going to convince people not to vote. Oh, it doesn't matter if I vote. It's just going to get manipulated anyway. It's going to be hacked. It doesn't matter. And that is really going to take down our voting system, our way of electing our governance. That's what it's going to do. This is a stain upon our right to vote in the people who rule for us. I was going to say something. I completely got a brain freeze. I'm just completely amazed on the lie that has been told to us that we can vote in who we want and change this country. I've got a question for you, and it's a rhetorical question. We just found out about this during this election. How many other presidents has this gone through? Has this business model been conducted? How many other presidents in our past presidencies were rigged to where a favorable outcome would be produced by these shadow governments? Was the Clinton election rigged? Was the Obama election rigged? Was the Jimmy Carter election rigged? You got to ask yourselves that. I always said this. That whole Chad thing, what was it, when the Bush won? And they blamed it on the voting cards. The Chads were, the Chads wouldn't fully pop out. It's funny, those paper ballots, they were good for many, 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 many years. And all of a sudden, one year, we're having problems with the Chad. We need to get rid of them. Why? I knew it right then and there. It was bullshit. Excuse my language. All of a sudden, got a hanging Chad. It's the hanging Chad. Remember that? Need to change it. We need to change it. So you can't rig a paper ballot. You can't. But if we can get rid of the paper ballots and move it over to computerized ballots, ho, 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 it's so much safer and more convenient for you people. But guess what, folks? It's a computer. Yeah, and most of the results, they're downloaded via wireless. So not only are they a computer, but they have wireless capabilities. How else do you think these polls are now counted so quickly? In a matter of a day, they're broadcasting the results to you. Not even that. CNN within hours after voting booths have closed. How else do you think they get that information, folks? If something can be downloaded, something can be uploaded. That whole hanging Chad, what was it? The year was what, 1999, 2000, it was Bush against, who's that idiot? Global warming idiot. Anyway, he's irrelevant. You know who I'm talking about. The whole hanging Chad. Research that a little bit more. Just that whole paper ballot was good for many, 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 many years. And all of a sudden, a hanging Chad, that little box that you punch out is called a Chad. All of a sudden, the state of Florida, oh, we need to end it, need to move to computerized stuff. Folks, that was a freaking game on the American people. In addition, think about this. Those paper ballots, they were impervious to algorithms, pre-programming. Now that we're off the paper ballots, and these machines are computerized now, you can pre-program them with algorithms, with a certain outcome. For crying out loud, Google and YouTube can program algorithms into their search engines. Don't you think they can program algorithms into the outcomes of these ballot boxes? A preordained, a predestined candidate winner. That's another good thing about the paper, going the paper route. It was impervious to all these new age technologies. You know, even if our new ballot boxes, even if they're not utilizing the wireless device, they can be programmed. They are a computer. And it's a shame. It's a real shame. How many elections were stolen from us? I just find it very hard to believe that every time I see an election, it's always, whether it's a local election or whether it's a federal election, regardless of what it is, everything is so close. Yet in public, when you go to work, everybody you talk to, everybody is leaning towards one way or another. Yet when the polls are always over, it's always that magic number, 4951, like right down the middle, where one person just, oops, he won. Oh, you guys almost got it. You got 49. Maybe next time. It's rigged. I think a lot of our elections have been rigged. You take a look at all the elections in the past that come out always to that magic number, 4951. 4951. Oh, you guys almost got it. Maybe next time. Have a great day, folks.